we started. So FS100 up first, in its starring role with the image stabilized lens. That optical stabilization is so good that it really does kind of save you a lot of grief, and especially on cobble, so that should help us. So that's one of those little magical moments where we've kind of borrowed a few ideas from José Jim, a 1960s Francois Truffaut movie, and that's a scene in José Jim when they're all kind of swinging out the windows, and Bruce and I both just said, like, it went this little shiver down our spine, so we just recreated a little bit of movie magic in that little scene, and the light is beautiful. We scouted this a few days ago. We knew the light would be low in the sky, so we tried to schedule it as far as possible so that we have this golden low, you know, March, late winter light. Day 2, and we've been absolutely blessed with fantastic weather again. We scouted this last week and this is what we'd hoped for. So this shot is our 3 characters sort of playing along this seawall. On the 700 again, because I'm going into 60 frames a second. A lot of this movie is kind of shot with that sort of slow-mo in mind, and the fact you can just hit the button is great. We're always trying to, you know, create really epic looking scenes, but we don't have a lot of money and we have a very small crew, and that's really where DSLRs kind of revolutionised the way in which we work. But there are so many shortcomings with DSLRs that now that we've got cameras like this FS700 and the whole FS100 range, you're able to kind of replicate that small footprint production like as if you were working with DSLR, but actually move quickly with all the benefits of a proper camcorder. So that's just a great example of using the 240 frames a second on the FS700. Bruce just decided at that point, went from 60, he said let's go 240. So all we want to do is go into menu, flick it to 240. Now there is a kind of caveat, and that is you can only record 12 seconds in one go, so you have to be pretty clear on where the action's happening. And just almost what we ended up doing was Bruce would call action for the actors, and then I hit record, use the start trigger to just trigger that action. But it's nice, you're getting that 240 frames a second at full 1080p, and you can watch it right back in camera.
You really got to come down over the top of that foot. There you go. Yeah.
So one of the techniques we've really adopted in this film for speed is a lot of long lens stuff, using a lot of stuff at 200 millimeters. What it's allowing us to do is keep the camera moving. And because we've got this nice head, we're able to kind of just keep a little bit of, think MIPD blue, but 1962. And it's just that little bit of sense that there's a bit of movement in the picture.
Well, it's funny because the kind of camera that you use these days is really irrelevant, you know, and people always, you know, I've shot a lot of tests with all sorts of different digital cameras, and the result of them these days is that all these cameras are good enough to tell a story. So when we have a digital camera like the Sony, which we've been using on here, we have a little bit of extra picture quality that I'm not actually used to in dealing with the smaller cameras. So we've had fabulous images coming out of these cameras. Fantastic.
So this is the EA50, which is not a camera you would necessarily think to shoot a movie on. But actually it has this really key function. The shot in the script is a zoom in to this window. We already did the shot of Bruce's hotel room looking down onto the building. So we've got 2 distinct locations, and we're using the servo zoom on the EA50 on this power zoomed lens to actually physically do the move. So rather than do the move in post, we're actually going to do it in camera. One of the things we're doing today is using 2 units, actually 3 units in total. We're rigging the other unit over there currently with the Zeiss lenses, but I'm using the Sony Alpha lenses with the LEA2 adapter onto the E-mount, which means I can take advantage of this full line of lenses, which are actually made by Carl Zeiss anyway. I've got a lovely 16-35 here, and this is helping us speed the process up, so we can do the master shot on the slider, immediately go in and use the A-cam for the close-ups, and it just means we've got sort of revolving cameras to keep us on schedule. So in terms of picture profiles, we're using a pretty standard profile. I'm using Cine Gamma 4 because it gives me the widest sort of dynamic range.
Get up.
So this is one of the final shots in the film, and we've got our character here sat on the steps.
So we're here on almost the penultimate shot of the evening. I've been waiting around for hours. Doesn't look like she's going to show up, so we're doing the shot. I'm probably about to leave Piccadilly Circus, but you know, who knows? It might be a nice surprise.
Nobody cares.
We care.
But it's a wrap.
It's a wrap! Hey! Eros movie is wrapped.
Come on, let's go.
So that's a wrap. We have wrapped principal photography on our
We have a
3-day
movie.
film. We have a movie.
Yeah.
So the next time you see us, it'll be
Cutting.
in the edit suite. So join us for that one.